Hey everybody, this video is going to talk about domain of a rational function, excluded values. So here we're given two functions, h and g, and we need to find all x values that are not in the domain of h and g. So, what does that mean? Well, if I were to plug in any number on the top of this function, it's going to be okay because I can have any number on the top of a fraction and it'll be okay. But what if I have certain numbers on the bottom of the fraction? Well, whenever I divide by 0, doesn't matter what's on top of this fraction, if I divide by 0, the universe explodes, okay? In mathematics, we cannot divide by 0. We cannot put items into 0 groups, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to set the denominator equal to 0. Because if this denominator, x squared minus 49, equals 0, then we have 0 on the bottom, and we're dividing by 0 and the universe explodes. So from here, how are we going to solve? Well, for this one, we can add 49 to both sides. So we get x squared equals 49. Now, when we introduce a square root, what happens? We get a plus or minus square root of 49. Now that means square root of 49 is 7. So x equals plus or minus the square root of, plus or minus 7. So let's actually let's just plug in 7. What will happen? 7 minus 5 over 7 squared minus 49, right? So this is 2 over 49 minus 49, which is 0. Oh, I divided by 0, universe explodes. So x cannot equal plus or minus 7. So there's two values. Similarly, I could plug in negative 7. Negative 7 squared is 49, so I'd still get 0 on the bottom. What about for this one? Same thing. We're going to say, well, that bottom can't equal 0. So now we could do this a few different ways. We could just initially say, okay, this is not going to equal 0. We do not want it to equal 0. And then we can continue. How do we solve from here? From here, we could either do the quadratic formula, but first let's see if it can factor. Okay, if it can factor, then the quadratic formula isn't necessary. What multiplies to be 25 and adds to be negative 10? Well, that's negative 5. So I'm going to have x minus 5 times x minus 5. Well, that's a perfect square, equals 0. Okay. So x minus 5 equals 0, or x minus 5 equals 0. Oh, and we decided to start this one with a not equal to. Right? Sorry about that. So these are all not equal to. These happen to be the same thing. So when we solve, we're going to get x cannot equal 5. And that is the domain of a rational function, excluded values.